Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So I want to take a few minutes here and talk about developing the overhead squat, especially in workouts. So the overhead squat is something that took me a long time to develop. And the way you got to look at this, just like so many other things we do in here, is you've got to earn your development of this exercise. It doesn't just happen. So too many people get caught up in movement standards and what movement standards would be in competitions. But remember, competitions are kind of assuming that you've been around this stuff and you've taken the time to earn your positions, and that's why you're there. So if there's overhead squats in a workout and you don't quite have the mobility for it, we start seeing a lot of issues, and we start seeing people come down, get up on the toes. We start seeing people as they hit the bottom, knees come in. We start seeing shoulders especially. Instead of being able to keep that shoulder externally rotated, we see people start internally rotating those shoulders and just kind of holding. So we see so many just nasty things go on. And here's the deal. Doing lower overhead squats where we're doing a bunch of nasty things isn't making you any better at all. So what we need to do is develop our range of motion just like we develop everything else. And we need you to go to that lowest point that you can go perfectly, and then try and get just at that threshold or maybe a millimeter lower on every single one, and over time that is going to develop your overhead squat. But if you constantly teach your body that we're good, and as soon as we run out of range of motion we do funky things to go, you're just going to get better and better and better at doing funky things to go. So here's what I recommend doing. Typically when we've got overhead squats in a workout, what you can do is just cut the reps in half and add about like a 3-second pause. I always say 3 seconds. It's really hard to rest for 3 full seconds in the middle of a workout, but 3 full second pause, half the reps. So what that's going to look like is we're going to pause at your lowest best point. So we're doing overhead squats, and say your lowest best point is right here. 1, 2, 3, back up. 1, 2, 3, back up, and so on. And what you're trying to do is maintain perfect positions, but also kind of force that threshold point. So we don't want you to go not at that point where it's hard. We want you to really force that threshold point, but without letting anything go. What you're going to find is mentally working out this way is really, really, really challenging. It is so much more challenging than just being gross and doing kind of whatever you want in those overhead squats. But this is the way to develop them, and you'll develop them, and you'll get to that point where you're doing full range overhead squats and workouts. You'll get to that point where you want to go so much faster if you just take the right approach. Hope this helps. Talk to y'all soon.